extraordinaire! This is Tatev coming to you from the beautiful Yerevan, the capital of Armenia, and today I am going to be diving into a little itinerary for if you are visiting for 1 week. I got a lot of questions from people asking if they're only here for 1 week, what are the must go places and what are the things that they should be covering. And even though I will tell you that 1 week is very little to explore the amazing land that is Armenia, but I will do my best to cover up the must-sees in my opinion. And I asked you that if I forget something or if there's something that you want to mention that in your opinion is a must-go, let me know in the comments and I will pin them to provide recommendation for everybody. So let's go. Let's start from Yerevan. So the couple of markets that I believe that you could start your visit with, because it gives you like a little taste of the culture here, is the Vernissage market, which is the perfect place to walk around and also buy some souvenirs maybe at the end of your trip, but still it's great to visit it a few times probably and check out what they have over there. The second market that I recommend going is a completely different type of market, which is the Gyumri market. They have a lot of food, vegetables, Armenian dried fruits, and they will be greeting you with very hospitable way where they will try to give you samples of everything they're selling. So go there, enjoy the taste. And also I will be including the link of the locations in the description and the names to make it easier for you to find them and kind of plan your trip around to see how far everything is from each other. But the good news is they're not that far from each other, so that's a good start. Okay, let's continue. One more thing I want to mention is that probably everything that I'm talking about in here, most of the things, I made in-depth videos of them, so I will link those as well within the video or in the description to if you want to kind of get a deeper dive into what these places look like or what they're about. You can check them out from those videos. But the intention of this one specifically is to give you an overview of the itinerary that you can make if you're visiting for a week. The next stop is Cascade. Cascade is this giant staircase in the heart of the city, and it's not just a beautiful view when you end up climbing to all the way to the top, but it has a lot of artwork on the way to the top. Which is where I will be going up to tell you all the rest about this 1 week. Wait, this was a bad idea. 1 second. After you reach all the way to the top, whether by climbing on foot or through the escalators that I took, you will be enjoying a beautiful view of Mount Ararat and you will see all of Yerevan. So it's definitely worth the climb. After you are done enjoying this beautiful view, an amazing thing that you will see right behind us from here as well is the opera building. Definitely worth going to catch an opera, a ballet show, or something just to even get into that building. The architecture is amazing and it's definitely worth taking the time to enjoy it. It's very affordable and accessible to go to a ballet or an opera show here, unlike some of the other countries that I've been to. So it's not this overwhelming thing where you need to plan everything around. It could be bought in a last minute and very accessible to go and enjoy the show. After enjoying an amazing show, you will want to eat some food. And some of the places that I recommend that have traditional Armenian food are Lavash, Dolmama, or Shereb, all accessible by walking distance within the center of Yerevan. So hopefully you enjoy some kapama, some lavash of course, and some khorovads, which is the barbecue, the Armenian barbecue, and of course some dolma. So enjoy. While you're in Yerevan, please take the time to visit Dzizernagapert, which is the Armenian Genocide Memorial and the museum. It is dedicated to the victims of the Armenian Genocide in 1915. It's a very educational center, and it's definitely an important thing to visit while you're here to fully understand some of the history that is related to Armenia. The next location I'm going to mention is actually one that I find often forgotten. So it's actually the Botanical Garden in Yerevan. If you have the chance, I definitely recommend going there based on the season that you're here. It's a beautiful place to walk through and get away from the city's busyness and the loudness, because Yerevan is actually a city that almost never sleeps. Like, it's always loud and there's something happening everywhere. So if that is something that you enjoy, definitely go check it out. It's not that far from the center. But yeah, like I said, a lot of people sometimes forget to go. The Yerevan Botanical Garden is part of the Armenian National Academy of Science, and it plays a crucial role in preserving the very diverse flora and fauna of Armenia. So like I said, if you have the chance, make the time to go there. And there's also a very cool building there that is worth going into and looking at. So I will let that one for you to explore. Now, only 40 minutes away from Yerevan is the Buragan Astrophysical Observatory. Founded in 1946, this observatory sits on the picturesque south slopes of Mount Ararat. So I actually personally have not been here yet, so it is on my list that next time I'm in Armenia, I will make the time to go there and probably try to film something cool for you guys. But if you beat me to it, let me know how it goes and let me know if it's worth going to. But I've heard a lot of amazing things. There's also hiking trails connected to it, so if that's something you're interested in, you can also combine these two activities together and do it like that. Speaking of hiking, it is also very important to explore cities and regions outside of Yerevan, and also the nature here is beautiful. So what I definitely recommend, you guys already know my favorite region in Armenia is Lori, and in Lori, the two top monasteries that I recommend going to, which are UNESCO World Heritage Sites, are Hakpat and Sanahin. I definitely went there and made a full video on them. I will put some clips in here for you guys to see what it looks like, but it's definitely very mesmerizing and majestic to be in there. And if you're planning to spend a night in Lori, my favorite guest house to stay there is Chamisht Guest House, which also offers master classes on how to make traditional Armenian gata, dola. So you can actually combine multiple activities together, since if you're here in a limited time, and you'll get to get some of the best worlds of different things. So, but Chamisht Guest House is definitely the place I recommend. This is not a sponsored thing that I'm saying. I genuinely love the people who run that guest house. It's a family-run place, and they'll get the time to know you, and they'll take the time to get to know you and really kind of allow you to immerse yourself within the local culture of Armenia. If you're looking to do any hiking within these places, to go from some of those places that I mentioned, what I definitely recommend is downloading the free Hike Armenia app. They not only create and maintain trails within Armenia, but they also have an application that is for free that you can download, that has a GPS, and you can download the trail that you're looking to hike to in case there's not a lot of coverage within the mountains or in the nature, and you can actually hike without getting lost. They also, if you reach out to their team, they're very friendly. They help you plan your trip to make the best of it, to make sure you get to cover as many things as possible, and while you enjoy the hiking experience. So check them out. I will also include the link in the description. I don't know what I'm doing with my fingers, but it's sunny, you can see, and the sun is hitting me. Another great resource, specifically if you are going into Lori region, is visit debetcanyon.com. It's a website that also puts in all the resources of things to see there and descriptions about them, how to get there, transportation, and they also have an information center within Debet Canyon, which is in Lori, and you get to actually talk to them and they will help you plan your trip. Now, if you're feeling really adventurous, one thing I'm very scared of heights, and I did this and I definitely still recommend it, so I think you should do it too, is going to Yell Extreme Park, which is close to Dilijan. It's on the roads over there. And I did zip lining, I did horseback riding, I did rock climbing, and it was really, really fun to do it. I think it's really worth it because while you're ziplining, you're actually ziplining between mountains and you get to really enjoy the view from the top. Another adventure that I did was a hot air balloon, which Skyball is the place to go if you are looking to do hot air ballooning in Armenia. They usually start the flights from Garni, which we'll get to in a second, and you get to really enjoy the view from another height. See what I did there? Anyway, moving forward. Speaking of Garni, so one thing that you must go to, I know I'm saying that to all of these things, but this is really, I try to narrow down everything that I recommend about Armenia in this video, so it's a little bit difficult to do, but still doing my best over here. But Garni Temple is a place that I really recommend going to. It's the only Greco-Roman temple that is still standing in Armenia, and the views are amazing to be there. It's kind of in the Garni Gorge, which also has the Symphony of Rocks, which, did I say Symphony of Rocks? There's a little spider on my camera, which is distracting me. That's why, and I don't usually like to bother them, so I'm just gonna let it be there, but that's why I said Symphony of Rocks. It's actually Symphony of Stones, which is also definitely worth visiting and kind of like looking at it. It's a work of Mother Nature that is really beautiful. Another monastery that I really recommend going to is the Yerevan Monastery, which is very close by the Areni Wine Cave, which is the first winery in the world, and also very much worth visiting and doing a tour over there and tasting some wine. But I cannot finish the monastery list without saying Khorvirab. Not only is one of the greatest places to see a beautiful view of Mount Ararat, just like here on Cascade, but it's also a very important monastery for Armenians. The reason why Khorvirab is a very important religious site for Armenians is because it is related to the adoption of Christianity, because Armenia is the first nation that adopted Christianity as the official religion in 301. When you go there, definitely you will get to hear the full story and kind of see everything, like the history unfolding. So I really recommend going there. And the next place we're going to move to is the second largest city in Armenia, which is Gyumri. Gyumri is known to be kind of like the capital of culture in Armenia, and when you're over there, just walking on the streets will give you a completely different perspective, a different vibe, and also you will see a lot of mix of the old and the new, and they have beautiful markets as well. So make sure to go over there and check it out. And for the lunchtime over there, or dinner, what I will recommend is Cherketsidzor. They have amazing fish, so make sure to go over there and check it out. And Pareya Khorjak, which means bon appetit in Armenian. And no trip to Armenia is full or complete without doing some wine tasting. And my favorite wineries to go to are Tushpa, Voskevaz, and Vanardi. Those three wineries actually, or vineyards, they do tours where you can go and spend a full day there, or do wine tasting, see the process of the winemaking. And each of these ones I selected because they all have very different stories and very different vibes. I don't know if I can pull off saying vibes, but anyway, they have different vibes. And if you have the chance to do all three, do all three of them. But if you don't have the time to go to a vineyard outside of Yerevan, what you can do is actually go on Saryan Street, which is turn into the wine street of Yerevan, and you will get a good taste of different wines in vino. In vino, the people who work there actually will give you a lot of story behind each bottle that you choose, and then you can do wine tastings and enjoy lots of different, well, wines. Speaking of wine and drinking, if you are interested in some nightlife in Yerevan, not very far from Saryan Street is actually Pushkin Street, which is kind of like the place where there's all the pubs are. My favorite two are Beatles and Kalume. I will again include the description, link, address, a bunch of words that I said. But anyway, I will give you the information in the description, and I really enjoy going there, maybe to go to Beatles pub and have a glass of beer, and then go to Kalume for some dancing, and they also have amazing pizza. But there's a lot of bars around this area, so to do pub crawl if you don't have that many nights to go out. You can actually like stay at each place for half an hour and do a pub crawl in Yerevan. One thing about Armenia is that it has a lot of seasonal festivals, so make sure you check out armenia.travel, which is the official tourism site of Armenia, to make sure that you know what's going on while you're here and to take part in them, because festivals are the best way to actually immerse yourself with the local people and kind of enjoy the amazing, beautiful, positive vibes that are happening. I said vibes again, I don't know, I think it's a new word that I'm adding to my vocabulary. It's happening. But recently we enjoyed the Yerevan wine days. There's also Vartavar that's coming up in July. So if you're here in July, make sure to go to that. I also made my camera overheated. So I'm going to start making my way back down and hopefully find some shade. But just like my brain, it also overheated. So I also need some bulbulak water. Anyway, where were we? Yes, speaking of cooling down, so Vartavar is the festival where everybody throws water on each other, but there's a lot more history that goes behind it, more than just throwing the water. So I made actually 2 videos. One of them, I did it in Lori, in a village, where I got to know more about the traditions related to Vartavar, and one in Yerevan, where it's more just dumping water on each other. I also just met the coolest group that apparently watched my videos and it helped them plan their trip to Armenia. What are the chances that that's the video I'm making now? And I saw people who told me that that happened. So hopefully you guys do find this video helpful. Before I end this video, I have to give you 2 more recommendations. One is the Tatev Monastery, which is a 4th century monastery that is very, very beautiful. And the fun thing about this is that you actually get to Tatev Monastery by riding Wings of Tatev. What is Wings of Tatev, you ask? It's actually the world's longest reversible tramway, like a cable car that you ride on the, like, you're in the sky and you're reaching a monastery. I really need to get some water. One more place and then I go bye-bye is Jermuk. So Jermuk is actually the place where you can go, where there's natural hot springs where you can actually bathe in them, and there's a lot of spas around there. So you can get like spas, stay overnight, and then go into the natural hot springs, and it's very therapeutical if you want to again get away from like the busyness of the city and enjoy some tranquility, I guess, and literally immerse yourself in nature. That's a place where you can go. Anyway, I really hope you guys found this very helpful, and I really hope that you guys enjoy your trip to Armenia and make the best of it. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. I will, like I said, include all the resources as much as possible in the description. And bye.